If you are joining me for the first time, please remember to click subscription button and hit that notification bell to be the first person to receive the video that will be produced by Davi-tech-media. Davi-tech-media, updating you. Davi-tech-media, subscribe to Davi-tech-media.
Thank you very much, colleagues from the media, for coming to this briefing. And I also want to thank the party members who have come so that we make this briefing possible. Allow me to begin by apologizing to the media out there in many parts of the country who have been waiting for us to begin this particular press briefing. We apologize for starting a bit late. It was due to certain logistical circumstances. But here we are. We are on. Today, I have got 4 or 5 issues that I want the nation to know. Number 1, arising from the violence of the Patriotic Front when they were receiving Honorable Kambwiri, and also the subsequent banning of UPND regalia 2 days ago, it has now become incumbent upon us, the UPND, now to place on record our humble appeal to the women movement, to the Human Rights Commission, to the Law Association of Zambia, to the church, and indeed many other civil society organizations of goodwill, that we request you to take a public stand against political violence, the same way you took a public stance against Bill 10. We are compelled to reach these levels because we have noticed the laxity with which various individuals and institutions are taking a public stand on this escalating political violence in Zambia 2 months before the general elections. It is our view that such a public show of solidarity against political violence will help instill a sense of shame in the Patriotic Front, because Zambia is a Christian nation. We therefore cannot afford to continue on this trajectory of violence. And as I speak this morning, it is with a deep sense of sadness that I must inform the nation that there are few women parliamentary aspirants who applied on the UPND ticket. And this is also the case with the Patriotic Front. They have been announcing lists of candidates, and you can see clearly it is largely male, meaning Parliament will be again male dominated, something that the women movement have been speaking about, increasing women participation in politics. Now, it is with a heavy heart that I must report to the nation that out of the few women who applied as parliamentary candidates on the UPND ticket, two have written to the party to withdraw their candidature, citing political violence which they have seen that it will be imminent in these elections. 2 parliamentary aspirants on the UPND ticket, female candidates, have written to the party to withdraw their candidature, citing imminent political violence in the forthcoming elections. This must sadden the women movement, because last time women representation was very dismal in Parliament. Very dismal in Parliament. Yet the majority of the voters are women. Now, we were thinking that from the few women that applied on the UPND ticket, we should be able to get some of those women to contest on the UPND ticket. And it is saddening that 2 have written to withdraw their candidature, citing imminent political violence. An engagement I had with them myself, they indicated that the banning of the UPND regalia has scared them to the core, to the bone, because they are saying, if this is what Patriotic Front are doing, even before the official campaigns begin, how will I, as a woman, go and put on regalia and campaign? So this political violence by PF is chasing women away from participating in politics. That is the reason why we are saying those who are interested in more women participating should be able to take a stand against political violence. That banning of that regalia 2 days ago by PF cadres should not be tolerated anywhere in Zambia. And we expect swift action by police to arrest the culprits. Because that was not just political regalia. In the minds of the cadres, they were thinking maybe this is just political regalia. That was a business by a young lady, a woman who has had no job, has created this initiative to start a job by printing regalia so that as the campaigns start, people can buy. She can make a living out of selling regalia. And as things are now, those who want to make money, please don't be disturbed by what you saw. We believe police will take action. More people should print more UPND regalia, because UPND regalia now is selling like hot cake. Go and check people who are printing regalia. No one is interested in printing PF regalia, because PF regalia, who will buy it? Because people don't want PF anymore. And I challenge PF to begin to make those cards they were selling in 2011, 2016. Pabwato cards, make them to see who is going to buy. Even if you sell for 1 kwacha, no one can buy them. If you make capes, if you make t-shirts in the name of PF, let's see who will buy them. Then you start destroying a business of a woman who is making ends meet. That must be looked upon by all citizens with utmost disdain. It is un-Zambian to allow a country slide to such levels of political violence. That should not repeat itself. We have requested the women movement to weigh in on this issue, because the person whose regalia was bent is a woman, unemployed, gets an initiative to make money, her business destroyed. 2, we are calling on the Human Rights Commission to be involved in this matter, because that regalia had value, it is property. No one has the right to take away property of another. We believe that the Bill-10 coalition members, those who took a public stand against Bill-10 and asked us, members of parliament of the UPND, to be on the side of history, to be on the side of the majority Zambians. Here's an opportunity also for you to take a stand, public stand, against political violence so that you are found on the right side of history. The people of Zambia detest. It is this violence why PF will lose votes. Zambians would rather work hard. They suffer, sometimes can sleep hungry, but don't take away their freedom. Zambians will not tolerate that. The peace, Zambians want to suffer in peace if it has to be suffering. So don't tamper with the peace that this country has been enjoying. You are losing elections on your own. We believe our Bill-10 coalition partners will rise to the occasion, the way we rose to the occasion on the floor of the House to reject Bill-10. And there are colleagues out there and organizations that publicly told the nation that they will decampaign all those who will vote for Bill-10. We are waiting for you to put your words into action now that the election is around the corner. Let me move on to the issue number 2. Issue number 2 is a continuation of where I left yesterday about Edith Zewelani Nawakwi. We want Honorable Nawakwi to take a step backwards and have an introspection about her battered political image. She lost a long time the moral grounds, the higher moral ground to be shaping the destiny of a country by appearing as though what she says is the truth. I'm here today to state that Nawakwi is a classical liar. She is a seasoned liar. She is a pathological liar. She is a professional liar. All sorts of descriptions about lies fit Edith Zewelani Nawakwi. You will recall that this is the same person who said HH sold to himself the house on Sevo Road in Kabulonga. When she was sued, she kept quiet. Now, today's naming of Edith Zewelani Nawakwi as a liar is in good faith, because I am fortified in my submission this morning by the case of the People versus Joe Karusa, which came up. The nation will recall that in 2010, Edith Zewelani Nawakwi accused a young man by the name of Joe Karusa, who then was a sympathizer of Mr. Rupia Banda, that Joe Karusa wanted to gang rape Edith Nawakwi, that Joe Karusa was a gangster. He wanted to gang rape Edith Nawakwi. You recall, isn't it?
Yes.
You recall, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
2010, 2010. That case went up to the High Court on Zambia in Ndola, where the case was dismissed and Joe Karusa was acquitted on those allegations of wanting to have unlawful carnal knowledge of Edith Zewelani Nawakwi. Now, if you look at that case, clearly this is a woman who wanted to ruin the life of that young man that was a rapist. He wanted to rape her. His image was in tatters. His family were living in shame. No, your husband wanted to rape Nawakwi. He's a rapist. Nawakwi wanted to ruin the life of Joe Karusa the same way she is attempting but failing to ruin the political career of Hakainde Hichilema? So Edith Zewelani Nawakwi, please, how many people's reputations and political careers do you intend to ruin before you can stop on your trajectory? Leave HH alone. Now you don't even need to go to court to ask for a copy. Anybody can Google the case of the People versus Joe Karusa, 2010, Ndola High Court. Nawakwi claiming that Joe Karusa wanted to have unlawful canon knowledge with her. What manner of lies? You want to become a president. You accuse a young man that he wants to rape me. Huh? You want to be a president. Once he was contesting as a president, you want to ruin the life of the young man. So if Nawakwi can go to extents of him embarrassing her own persona to the nation that a young man wanted to rape her, what will stop her? Accusing HH anything, including accusing him that no, HH is the one who is hiding the heart emboss. What will stop Nawakwi from doing that? Nothing. So I am urging members of the public that Edith Nawakwi was found guilty of lying to the nation in the case of the People versus Joe Karusa. Google it and you read it. So, Madam Nawakwi, I had promised you that the kind of politics you want, we are equal to the task. So can you be responding also? Don't keep quiet. Can you be responding the same way you've been talking too much on the heart emboss? Yes. Can you be responding? Yesterday, the day before yesterday, I challenged you to tell the nation if you do not owe Development Bank of Zambia $4 million United States dollars. Yes, sir. Translated into a round figure of 90 million kwacha, you owe the people of Zambia. Hence, your attacks on HH. Yesterday, I carried a book written by Richard Sakara, Betrayal of a President. That president betrayed was President Chiruba, where Richard Sakara is characterizing you as a very corrupt and dubious character. What? And I refer the nation to that book to read for themselves what Richard Sakara, now proprietor of Daily Nation, is saying about Nawakwi in relation to the sale of mines, ZCCM assets, during privatization. And this is the same person who comes around very loud. No, HH sold mines. HH sold mines. When she had dubious dealings as contained in Richard Sakara's book. I also challenged Richard Sakara of Daily Nation to say, look, this information which is documented here about the character, the dubious character of Edith Nawakwi, please, can you respond to us whether what you wrote in this book is still valid? And I ask that question because we have seen an unholy alliance between Nawakwi and the Daily Nation. Richard Sakara, after calling Nawakwi all sorts of names, they have now gone to bed. A marriage of convenience against HH. Why should people be ganging up against HH? What has HH done in this country for people to be forming cartels to try and bring him down? Why? I need answers also. Jealousy. And what is interesting is that the majority of these people forming cartels against HH have a battered history. They have questions to answer, or they had questions to answer. So these are attacks on HH. I'm pleading with you, Edith Nawakwi. that as my mother, it is my intention to continue to respect you as a mother, not as a liar. If you continue your lies, expect me to take on you on your terms and not my terms. I wish to leave Nawakwi for now here. I'll be back tomorrow on Nawakwi until she responds to me on the things that I have been raising, the things that UPND has been raising. Are we telling the people the truth or not? We want Madam Nawakwi to be magnanimous, to call briefings in the like manner she calls briefings for the Hatembos. Tomorrow I'm coming back. Same time, but this time tomorrow will not be late. I'll be back on Nawakwi tomorrow. So the nation can expect me. I'll be back tomorrow. Let me now turn to this juicy story of some members of the UPND who stood as aspirants on the UPND ticket, now being adopted, named and adopted by the Patriotic Front. And I have in mind here a name we have been told of, a Kizimonga, who was a candidate in Mazabuka and went through the primary elections and got almost 0 votes in that primary election of Mazabuka, almost 0. Now we are told he's a candidate for PF.
Shame. Shame.
Shame. To unfold. You will recall that last week, if not the other week, I remember at that time I was in Choma, I did inform the nation that there are some aspiring candidates from Patriotic Front who have been sent to come and stand on the UPND ticket when they know that they cannot win, and so that when they are left out of the adoption, they claim and stage effect defection to join Patriotic Front. Didn't we say this? And are you not even surprised that even before the UPND announces the list of names of its candidates, some have already begun to go back because according to their timing, we are delaying. We are delaying. So my appeal to the people of this country, don't be disturbed by these small maneuvers on the ground. It was anticipated. In fact, prepare for more drama once UPND announces its list of candidates. Prepare for more drama. But my message to those who know that they are PF at heart and wearing UPND gown and insisting that they want to stand on the UPND ticket only to know that they are not adopted, then they want to say no, the process was not fair, you bring this accusation and the other. Leave now. You go to PF now. Don't wait to be left out, then you claim something and go to. Just go in peace the same way you came. Because this election has been very strange. Candidates who are not known, they just surface, no, I'm applying, I want to stand. Okay, can UPND abonse? Let everyone, kaufera, I'm dying. Now we are beginning to see execution of those PF political maneuvers. We are urging our traditional base of supporters not to be moved. To the general public, our citizenry, the electorate, do not be deceived by these small maneuvers. This storm will soon come. The people of Zambia have a mission on 12 August 2021. They want to change government. They want to change government. The people of Zambia want to end political violence. They want to end political hooliganism and thuggery, cadarism. They want to end corruption. They want their economy to be attended to. Malaiti yadura. Unga wadura. Saradi yadura. Chitumbua wachefi. Mutengo wa sarapwani kwa So, life in Zambia is difficult, and therefore, even if someone moved to PF, assuming, which is not possible, assuming that I went to PF myself today, after joining PF today, does that change the fact that the cost of living is high? No. Does that mean that these problems we've been complaining about in the last 5 years will disappear because Mweetwa has gone to PF? Never. The people of Zambia will not depend on an individual, an MP or whoever who joins PF to change the course of the nation. No. Twakana. Luhanile. We are not going to be moved by small maneuvers on the ground. Patriotic Front is going out. They have never been this weak. Me, who lives in Lusaka sometimes, nowadays, even when they are passing, they are brandishing their Pabgato symbol. No one responds to them because that symbol is associated with political violence. It is associated with corruption. It is associated with collapsing the economy. So people out there, eyes on the ball. Eyes on the ball. No more political games. You buy people, they effect a defection in order to hoodwink and mislead unsuspecting ordinary citizens. No, not this time. From 2016 to now, people have been complaining the cost of living is unaffordable. Taking children to school, people are failing to pay school fees. Bali bakangiwa abantu kulipira bana ndarama ku school. And the schools are opening on Monday. There is squalor, there is poverty in homes, there is no money. People don't know where they will find money to pay for school fees. Now, with all those challenges, then Mweetwa goes to PF. Does that answer the problems we have been facing in the last 5 years? No. This time is Kuyabebere. Zambia can be better again. Zambia can be better again. Let me now move on to the issue of which we have seen circulating on social media, attributed to my elder brother, Honorable Charles Banda, where there is a viral video showing queues of hundreds and hundreds of people, and the commentator is saying in that video, this is Honorable Charles Banda, Minister of Local Government, distributing money to electorates. Honorable Banda, that is corruption. That is electoral malpractice. If it is true you are the one doing that, please stop it. We want leaders who will win on merit, not those who will have bought their seats. When you distribute money to electorates like that, that is why some leaders, when they go into office, like PF have done, they are always looking for contracts to do deals so that they can recover the money they were dishing out to people, meanwhile offering wrong contractors who end up doing shoddy works. That's why we have roads that only last 3 months. That is the reason why we have roads now that only last 3 weeks, if we are lucky, 3 months, potholes then they come to repeat again, give another contract, so that they continue to live on kickbacks. It is because of winning an election by vote buy. And I want to give free legal advice. I will refer this particular topic to the case of Honorable Charles Kakoma, who was Member of Parliament for Zambezi West, that in a period like this, Honorable Charles Kakoma was given a hammer mill, a government hammer mill, to go and give to his people in the constituency. But because the election was already in gear, that is the evidence PF used to have his seat nullified. They said you gave a hammer mill which didn't come from him. It came from government, but they nullified his seat, and that's why he's out of parliament. Now they are able to pull him to their side, because they've economically twisted him. So, when we talk about electoral corruption, you don't need to wait for ECZ official campaigns. The nation is already in full campaign gear. So I'm asking candidates for that particular constituency, it must be Kapoche, of my elder brother, Honorable Charles Banda, to begin to gather that evidence. In the unlikely event he wins, we must have material. We are not going to sit and allow PF to continue to abuse the money which they have, taking advantage of the poverty which they have created, and then buying people like commodities, like tomato. That is why I agreed with them last week when they carried a very big headline in their Daily Nation newspaper to say Mweetwa is not worth 6 million. I agreed. I said, yes, I'm not worth 6 million because I'm not a commodity. I'm not a pair of shoes or a tie to have a price tag. I'm priceless. As we are doing politics of principle, not politics of the belly. Those who are not there to save the people, they are there to save their pockets and stomachs. Please join your friends in the Patriotic Front. Leave us alone. We have a mission to rescue this country. People out there are tired. Let me now give an update of our adoption process. That we are appealing for patience amongst the candidates and amongst our support base and the ordinary citizens of this country. We are in the process of doing due diligence search, vetting each and every candidate. Those who were winning primary elections using money, you will know that our security team is down on the ground to find out the candidate who is with the people and not with the party officials who could have been compromised. That is what is happening right now. And for party officials, these agents, when they come, they are not coming to any party official, because you already spoke through the primary vote. They are now going to people in the market, at bus stops, at filling stations, industrial area, workplaces where people have no opportunity to have cast a ballot during the primary elections of the UPND. But they are the voters. Once that process is done, there is a reconciliation of the results from the primary elections, the security report, and how the party views you in terms of the rules that the party has put in place, namely loyalty to the party being number one, and also, and most importantly, wide grassroots support, and of course capacity to campaign in this election, which will be very difficult and very expensive Because in this election, we are not competing with Patriotic Front. We are competing with the money. Patriotic Front already lost this election. This competition is the people of Zambia using the UPND platform as a change agent versus money. Patriotic Front and money. That is where we are as we speak. But we have every reason to believe in the people of Zambia. Please, people, that system iri atuchitati ngama ama election yaisa twalaba ama problem twakwete kufuma mu 2016 up to now twalaba we get consumed in the election, excitement. This time, no. Because after 2016 elections, you will remember, friends, street vendors will remember how they were treated like animals by PF. Street vendors will remember how they would be arrested. You are carrying bananas worth 30 kwacha. Then council police, including military people who were deployed, get hold of you. Your capital is 30 kwacha bananas. But when they get you and take you to police or to court, they were asking you to pay 870 kwacha. When your capital was 30 kwacha in selling bananas, you now have to go home to go and sell a bed or a TV to find 870 kwacha to pay Lusaka City Council, to pay Kitwe City Council, Patriotic Front government. Patriotic Front government. Now you see this year, no one spoke about cholera. No one spoke about removing street vendors because they knew that it is an election year. And if you look at Patriotic Front now, they are not the same people. Those who were big-headed like they will be in power until kingdom come. They are trying to sober up in order to mislead and suspecting electorates. They cannot change. Patriotic Front are like a snake that once in a while it removes its skin. It removes its skin and comes out like it's a young snake. It is that same old poisonous snake, Patriotic Front. Zambians, don't be deceived. Colleagues, thank you very much for coming to this briefing. Colleagues in the media, back in Lusaka, I know that disturbed your news timelines. I'm very, very grateful that you are able to follow. And for those who have raised their questions, we'll look at those questions from our live streaming and we'll be able to answer some of those questions when I return back tomorrow for Nawakwi and other national issues. Thank you very much. May God bless us. We are done, friends. Thank you. We are done, gentlemen. Thank you so much.
Ending.
14 hours, coach. So now, first, if we have given us the document, those reports we have.
If you are joining me for the first time, please remember to click subscription button and hit that notification bell to be the first person to receive the video that will be produced by Davi-tech-media. Davi-tech-media, updating you. Davi-tech-media, subscribe to Davi-tech-media. Davi-tech-media, subscribe to Davi-tech-media. Davi-tech-media, subscribe to Davi-tech-media.